And so when you can categorize the vulnerabilities better, then you can better understand where you're vulnerable and what you need to invest in for security. So back in 2010, there was almost nothing in terms of metrics around the vulnerability of humans to stop an attacker who is trying to launch malware on your computer. Ransomware didn't even exist back then. And so there was not a lot of data. And so I started doing something called the Honey Stick Project, which I talked about in my last webinar on becoming a security champion. It was really just a project of dropping USB drives and eventually smartphones with some measurements capability on them to see what people would do with them. And that gave me some data to talk about around the vulnerability of humans. And around the same time, maybe a little bit later, these phishing assessments came out from a number of big vendors, KnowBe4, Proofpoint. Well, actually, at the time it was Wombat, Cofense, SANS. So there were a lot of these tools that came out, and they were using similar actual technology and mechanisms to what I was using in the Honey Stick project. So it actually made my job a lot easier to use these tools, and I used them for quite a while. But I also recognize what the value was in doing these things, how the data could be used. And along the way, though, I found some issues. It's important, though, to actually look at what are the things we're trying to do. So as I said, we're trying to measure human vulnerabilities. We need to be able to understand how easily can somebody be tricked by an attacker. And the easier it is, the more we could expect to lose in an attack. So we need to try and measure and improve people's ability to stop these things. Next, the ability to have some kind of a teachable moment. It was really attractive with phishing assessments or simulations, these fake emails sent by the IT team, to be able to measure what when somebody would open a link in an email, they would actually get sent to a landing page set up by the IT team saying, "Hey, this was a test. No, don't worry, there's no ransomware, but you really should have spotted these things." So it is a teachable moment. I was going to put, a president looking at the clips here, but I thought I might get hit with a copyright violation. I think we all understand, right? So sometimes it takes a bit of a shock to teach people something and they'll remember it. And that was something that early on with phishing assessments, we recognized it could be a teachable moment. We could get people to remember when they clicked on, an impersonation email from the help desk, and it really wasn't. And they learned some things that they should do differently next time. So that was something we were trying to get to, was the teachable moments, in addition to being able to measure their vulnerability.